How's everybody doing? It's good to be back with you. It's a little bit removed, having a game last Thursday, so it almost feels like you're a full week removed from it. But obviously a big win for our program at home last Thursday night, national TV. Really excited about the way the players played. Excited about the way our team responded after halftime. Came out and played very, very well the last two quarters and got a big home victory. Just really appreciate the student body. What a great turnout from the student body. They were here tailgating whenever we got here, and you could tell that they were in pretty energetic form, and so they certainly brought that energy into the stadium, and the Boneyard was rocking as good as I've seen it since I've been here. So really appreciate them because they brought a lot to the game day environment last Thursday night, and would love to have them back out in those kind of numbers here this Saturday in what is a very big game for our program. Very dangerous Temple team coming in here. 3 o'clock kickoff. Tough opponent. It's one of those programs that when you look at the history between ECU and Temple, they've been one that's always played well against us. So big ball game for our program. Excited about the ability to be back at home. Should be great weather, and hope Pirate Nation turns out. It'll be a great afternoon of college football. So, questions?
Coach asked Blake Carroll this a week or two ago, but defensively, it's been a long time since you guys have had basically multiple starters at every position. How has that group kind of embraced maybe rotational roles and not maybe necessarily being the guy, but kind of embraced that sharing roles and helping out the defense as a whole in that role?
Well, I think it's something that we've had to do a good job of, just really, continually talking to our players about. But, when you look at, my other stops, when we had some really great defenses at other schools, we always had, good numbers, and we always had the ability to rotate guys. And I think it really shows up in a second half of a ball game the other night, second half of a ball game down in Houston. When you can have fresh guys on the field. In the first half, some of the players come off. They're like, well, I'm not tired right now. Well, no, you're not. We want you to be fresh in the fourth quarter. And so I think it's allowed us to play with a lot of intensity and play really hard for a sustained 4 quarters. The other thing that it creates too is just a lot of competition, during the week. It creates a situation where you have to practice hard during the week. And that's only going to help you get better. I remember my first year, we had 2 safeties and 4 D linemen, and you virtually had nobody to rotate in there with them. And you had nobody to compete with them in practice. And I felt like it really held them back from pushing themselves to be the best that they could be. Now you go out there, if you go out there and have a bad day, on a Wednesday during game week, you're going to look up and you're not going to play as much on Saturday. And, why do some guys play more one week or another? Well, there's all kinds of reasons, but a lot of times it's because of the way they practice during the week. So I think just having that kind of depth has been really healthy for our program, and it's allowed us to continue to play better and better each week throughout the year.
Coach, it's a rarity these days, but Temple's a team that will huddle up on offense and they want to run the football. But how does that huddling up and give you more time on defense, how does that change things as you call your defensive plays?
Well, it's different, because virtually everybody is, no huddle, and a lot of teams we've seen so far this year have been really up-tempo teams. And Temple, is very deliberate with the way they run their offense. They've got, a bunch of older guys up front on that offensive line. I think 3 grad students, a senior and a junior, all experienced guys. They have a big back there in the backfield. They have a dual threat quarterback. They've got all those tight ends that they use, and so they're going to take their time. They're going to give us a ton of different formations, a lot of different motions, trying to get our guys out of position, and they're going to try to take the ball and shove it down our throat. That's kind of their philosophy. And they'll take their shots in the perimeter. They'll take their, try to pop you with a big play with a jet sweep and stuff like that. But it's going to be a challenge for us Saturday. We're going to have to do a great job with, our adjustments and stuff after they break the huddle. We're going to have to be really dialed into the defensive call. And we have to really play with a lot of physicality in order to match, what they're trying to do offensively.
Coach, you seem to be getting better and better play from your quarterback. The light bulb seems to have clicked on a bit for Holton. What do you attribute some of that to as the season has progressed here?
Well, I thought he played well. this past Thursday night, particularly with decision making. And I thought he did some things that we've been encouraging to do. I thought he did some things where he didn't force things. He kind of took what was there. I thought he did a great job of using his feet. Things break down. Quarterback scrambles. Made several big plays right there. I thought he did a good job understanding some situations in the ball game. So that's the guy that we need to be successful. That's it, and he understands that. If I can keep him just really dialed in to just what's happening inside of our building, what's happening inside of his meeting room, and then taking that out to the practice field, and then taking that practice field to the game field, I think that's the real key to success.
Coach, in terms of turnovers, that obviously swung the game this past week, and I know it's something that you coach no matter what. But what is it like to get results and be able to take those back, especially when you review film and get the guys back in practice, to actually have those results to say this is the right way to attack the ball and to see pass routes and that kind of stuff?
Well, it's a big goal of ours each week. We don't have a whole lot of team goals, but one of the main ones is winning the turnover battle. Nothing's more glaring than last Thursday night. We have a couple of turnovers there in the first half that led to South Florida scores and really gave them the momentum. And then, look in the second half, and, it was a big turnover, the pick six by Malik that put us ahead for good. And then it was a couple of turnovers, there in the fourth quarter that really sealed the ball game. So, our kids, they do understand how important they are. And it's been an emphasis all year, and I think defensively we've done a pretty good job all year of turning the ball over, both fumbles and interceptions. But, it's something that's a big emphasis each week, and it's a big emphasis for our offense and our special teams to, not put us in a negative situation. Anytime you can win the turnover battle, that means you're getting more possessions than your opponent is. You're taking a potential scoring possession away from them and giving it to our offense. And so, common sense tells you you're going to have a better chance to score that way.
We talked about the ability of the team to bounce back from that 4th and goal play right before half. Just curious, what did you guys see on that play on film? Was there anything that could have been done differently, and how much can that serve as a learning experience?
Well, I think, first, we were all a little surprised it wasn't a touchdown on 3rd down. So after it was ruled not a touchdown, anytime you try to get the sneak, you try to do it pretty quick. They went to review the whole time. I thought that we get a touchdown back from review. To be honest, I really kicked myself. I started to call timeout. I didn't like the sneak in that situation. I put that one on me. We should have been in a different play.
Last couple weeks, Audi's really come on, made some huge plays. Can you just tell us a little bit about him kind of stepping into that spotlight, I guess?
Well, I think he's one that you look back at the season and he's progressed every single week. And I think a lot of his confidence. I think his work ethic is paying off. He's one that we've talked about for about 2 years now, just how hard he's worked to develop his body, to develop his hands, to develop his route running. So I think that hard work's paying off. I think the confidence he has in himself is making him, continue to allow him to play better and better each week. I think the confidence that Holton and the quarterbacks have in him, the confidence that the coaches have in him, I think that's a big factor too. So I just think all of it goes into the fact that he's established himself as a legitimate, reliable threat down in and down out, and he's come through and made the plays.
Coach, with 4 games left, you guys are close to reaching that threshold, or maybe some younger guys could theoretically play and still redshirt. So do you have any staff discussions on, hey, maybe this guy could help us down the stretch here at certain positions?
Yeah, we have, and you got some guys that are, you've got a couple that have been injured that are coming back that you'll see us start to work in. That it's just when are they going to be ready? But you'll see some guys here in the last 4 games that maybe you haven't seen all year. You're going to see some guys that maybe don't play here in the last couple of games if we think that we can and should redshirt them. And that's the whole thing, is especially with the COVID stuff. It's how realistic is it for a kid to be here 6 years if he's young? It's different if you're an older guy, and you got 1 more year of college football to play. But it's really it's a deal. I've looked at it for like about the last 3 weeks. I look at a report every Sunday of how many games kids have played in, and you're weighing, how much are they going to play, what is their impact on winning and losing each week, what is best for their development. You're looking at so many factors right there, and so it's one of those things that we are conscientious of, and it's one of those things that we're going to use to give us the best opportunities to be successful on game days.
Coach, what are the things that kind of get your attention most about Temple and when you look at them on film?
I think big, physical, on both fronts. I think that they're stand-up guys on both sides of the ball. Those receivers that they use in motion, they run very, very well. I think their safeties and corners, their linebackers run very, very well. If you look at them, player by player, I think that they're a very talented team. Their quarterback started at the University of Georgia as a freshman. If he was there this year, he would probably be the starting quarterback at Georgia. So he's a talented dual threat player. I think the backup quarterback that we expect to see on Saturday, I think he is a very talented young player. So I think I see a very dangerous football team, and one that we'd better play very, very well against to have a shot to win.
Any other questions for Coach? Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks a lot.
Next question.